What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Paris and I make videos all about candle making and the starting and managing of my small candle business, LadyCIMONNE Candle Co. Today I'm making room sprays. Yes, this is not a candle making video today. I am actually I've been testing room sprays for a while, okay, and I'm to the point now where I'm ready to get them ready for my product release, my campaign and everything for my candle business. So anytime I'm releasing a new product, or even if it's in the candle, even if it's a candle or a wax melt, I test, which you should do anyway. And then I start planning how I'm going to bring it to market for my candle business. So that's what I've actually been doing in the background for some time now. I've nailed down how I like to make my room sprays. I've played with a bunch of formulas, a bunch of bases, and so I finally nailed it down. So I thought I would go ahead and record a video now that I'm preparing to release them as a new product for LadyCIMONNE Candle Co. And I'm actually going to have more videos just showing you how I came up with my packaging, creating my labels, how I plan to ship them and package them, all that good stuff. So just stay tuned for more videos down the road. But today I'm actually going to show you how I make them. So let's just get started. Like many of you, yes, I'm like a beginner when it comes to room sprays, right? Just like many of you are beginners in the candle making space. I was once a beginner in the candle making space. And so you do your research, right? You get on Google, you try to Google formulas, you watch YouTubers, and I've watched tons of room spray videos. I've Googled, I've researched ingredients and supplies, and you know, just trying to figure out what direction I wanted to go with. I know for me, I like to test several different ways. I don't like to limit myself to just, you know, one lane. I saw this one YouTuber, so I'm gonna just do it this way. I like to kind of explore and kind of see what works for me, because me being who I am, I'm eventually going to make it LadyCIMONNE anyway. So that's what makes you unique. You gotta find, so it's okay to start with a baseline. I always start with a baseline, and then I make it LadyCIMONNE-esque. So that's what I did, and I've been in the background behind the scenes doing this for quite a while, testing different ways, seeing what I like. So today I'm actually going to bring to you two different ways that you can make your room sprays. And first I'm going to start with what I use. So what I use in terms of tools and equipment. So I purchased these from Amazon. This is like a funnel pouring pitcher. So it makes it easy to insert like this tip into the bottle and pour. But I also purchased these funnels as well to kind of help with avoiding mess. So I got these off Amazon. This came in a 3-pack, and so did these. They're 3 different sizes, so whatever suits your fancy or fits your bottle, it works. Amazon, super inexpensive. There you go. I also purchased these plastic 4-ounce bottles. So I knew I wanted to start with a 4-ounce bottle. However, I did not want to just yet use the bottles that I'm actually going to use for my packaging. I've actually haven't decided yet on my packaging. I've purchased a lot of 4-ounce bottle samples that I love. So now it's just a matter of which one do I want to go with. So I decided to purchase these plastic 4-ounce bottles off of Amazon. I think it came with like 25 in them, which I knew would be plenty to do rounds of testing. And they're just plastic clear bottles, right? And these are great for testing. So this is what I used for my testing. And then of course a scale, right? So you can measure out your ingredients. And then of course the fragrance oil of your choice. Today I'm actually using Clean Cotton from Candle Science. This is just a tester that I'm using just for the sake of this video. And then of course paper towels and alcohol. Just real quick, if you see me like doing that, that's the mama reaction. She's over there asleep. She's all snug and tight, but you know, if I hear a whimper, mama gotta look. So let me now share my organization and testing process. So I am a fragrance oil hoarder. And who isn't? Okay, like I'm totally normal, right? But I knew like every time I'm like on candle suppliers websites and I want to like try a handful of fragrance oils or whatever, or if I receive samples, like you all know I plan ahead for my candle business. So I always keep in like a Ziploc bag fragrance oils that I love for whatever product I want to release. So I had a baggie of 6 fragrance oils that I loved in the bottle that I knew potentially could be room sprays. And they just been sitting there, like I said, because in the meantime, I was researching formulas and researching supplies and seeing what I needed. And so when it came time to test, I grabbed the 6 fragrance oils that I wanted to use in the 2 different ways I wanted to make my fragrance oils and tested it that way. Let me break down my process. 2 formula methods, I split the oils down the middle. So I had 6 that I knew I loved, that I wanted to try. So I took 3 fragrance oils and tested them with 1 formula method. And then I took the other 3 oils and tested it with the second method. And I wrote on the Post-it note the formulas, so that way I knew what I used and I kept track of the formula that I was using. It keeps me organized, and I just wrote the ingredients, what I'm using, and it keeps me organized, and it helps me remember my numbers until I nail it down and actually put it in a place where all my formulas are. So that's how I do that. So the first formula method that I tested was with using a room spray base. I got this base from Virginia Candle Supply. This is a 64 ounce bottle, so I knew this will be plenty. I think they sell this size and a bigger size, but this is a 64 ounce. I knew this would be just enough to test enough. And then the second formula method I used was with distilled water and with a preservative, sorbic acid plus 2 PF. It's that. I got this from Crafter's Choice. So this is a preservative, and then this is a polysorbate 20, again from Crafter's Choice, and this is to help the water and the oils and the preservative bind together properly. And so those are the 2 different ways that I tested it. Split my oils down the middle to see how they act once all mixed. And you know, once I tested in different rooms on different days, I wanted to pretty much test how they smelled, of course, and then what was the linger factor, you know what I mean? So did I spray it and then 5 minutes later I come back and you didn't even know I spray? The effect I was trying to go for was with like a normal air freshener that you would for a bathroom, or like Febreze that you would for your couches and your fabrics. That's the effect I was going for. Does it have a lingering factor? You know, can you smell it? You know, when guests come in, will they be able to, oh my gosh, your home smells amazing. You know, what does that factor smell like and how long does it last? So those were the things I was testing for and looking for in my room sprays so that I can create a quality, long-lasting room sprays for my customers. Now let me walk you through one way that you can make your room sprays that I tested. So we're going to start with the room spray base. So with the room spray base, the formula calls for 1/4 ounce fragrance oil per 8 ounce room spray. So since my bottles are 4 ounces, I pretty much just cut that in half. And so 1/4 ounce cut in half is 0.125 or 0.12 ounces of fragrance oil and 4 ounces of the room spray base. And so I have my scale here, my bottle here. Well, actually, I have my spray here, my base here, and my funnel cup here. And I am going to go ahead and turn this on and tare it to 0. And I already have my unit set to ounces. So we're gonna go ahead and get this measured. So I need 4 ounces of the base. Just a little over. Perfect. Okay. And then 1.25 of fragrance oil. So what I do is I just keep this on here. I go ahead and tare it back to 0 so it can discount the funnel weight and the room spray weight, and go ahead and measure out 0.12 ounces of fragrance oil. There we go. Perfect. Come on. My measuring skills is on point today. And then we mix. Once we got it all mixed, go ahead and transfer it to the plastic bottle. Now my funnel tip fits well in here, so I didn't even need to use these, but you know, if you want to check these out to avoid any messes, this, that, and the third, by all means, these are amazing to work with. But I didn't even need to use it because my tip fits, it fits great. So here's what it looks like, all ready to go. And I like a fine mist, so whatever room spray bottle mister you choose, you know, it's your decision, but I like a nice, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a nice fine mist. And it does not have a greasy film or anything, because that was another thing I was looking for, just in, you know, when people spray their bathrooms or their rooms and things like that, and it, you know, sometimes the mist can fall on surfaces and things like that. I did not want a greasy film or residue or even a sticky film, and it does not have that. One thing I did notice about the room spray base is the oil and water, the oil and base separation is real. So here's one that I made, and I don't know if you can see, you can tell when oil kind of sits on top, it has that. So make sure if you decide to go the base route, you make a disclaimer on your website, or even they have room spray warning labels to shake very well to kind of rebind the base and the oil. The separation is real, okay? The separation is very much there. So just shake it well, and you know, the customer should be fine to use it. In terms of the lingering factor, so it did not have a long lingering factor that I was hoping for with the base, compared to the next formula I'll show you in a minute. So keep that in mind. You know, I was looking for, you know, if I walk back in a few minutes later or even 10 minutes later, you know, will I still be able to smell, you know, a pleasant smell in the bathroom like you would if you used an air freshener. So keep that in mind if you decide to go the base route. I will say using the base, it's less ingredients, it's super quick. You don't have to worry about buying a preservative or anything like that. Another thing I wanted to bring up with the room spray is especially if you're using the clear base that I did. Keep in mind the packaging that you want to use to house your sprays. I say that because every fragrance oil, you know, sometimes can translate into a different tint once it's mixed with something, whether it's wax or obviously room spray. So you see even here, this fragrance oil had more of a tint to it than this one. And even this one is a lot more clear than this clear one. It's a lot more translucent. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about how to package these. When you're using the clear base, it will just keep in mind that fragrance oils may have a color hue to it. Now I'm going to show you the second formula method that I use. And I will break the formula down over here on this side of the screen so you can see it. And so right now I'm getting the rest of my water in there. It's my little bottle of distilled water that I kept. So don't judge me. I'm using a straw to make sure I get right on the ounce that I need to. So I'm actually going to get some of those pipe, I don't even know what they're called, the little pipe suction little things to help. I've been using a straw so I can get right on the ounce when I was doing my testing. So don't judge my tool right now, okay? It's working. So I'm right there, okay. So this is my little distilled water that I've been saving, and I just kept it in a bottle. And then next is so I needed 3.68 ounces of water, which I have here. So I'm gonna tare it back to 0. So I can now do 0.08 of the poly 20. Well, yeah, for short, poly 20. And using my tool. It kind of has a thick consistency. It looks like gel, actually. And then 0.20 ounces of fragrance oil. So I'm gonna tare it back to 0. And then lastly, the preservative is 0.04. Should get different. And let me tare this back to 0. And now we are going to mix and get this bottled up. Here we go. So here is this mixture. And so one thing to note about this mixture is that it has a cloudy, well, I shouldn't say cloudy, but more of a milky, depending on the fragrance oil that you use, it can have more of a milky looking mix. So like this one is like, it looks real milky. And I think with this fragrance oil, it kind of toned down the white a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is a lot more of a beige tint and this is like a white. So again, keep in mind with the packaging, it will not be translucent as this. It will be a little bit more of a cloudiness to it. So keep in mind with that. Now, in terms of the lingering factor and how everything mixed well, I like that this, the Poly 20 that I used allows these to bind better. I would still recommend your customers to shake before use really well, but it keeps the oil and all of the ingredients binded very, very well to the other ingredients, and therefore produces a longer lingering factor. In what I noticed, I tested it every day, both types of formulas, in one bathroom and then in our other bathroom, and this formula definitely takes the win for me in terms of the lingering factor. Yes, there's more ingredients. The Poly 20 and the preservative is actually a little pricey, especially just to even get these bottles with this size. I think, I don't even, how big are these bottles? I think they're, yeah, 2-ounce bottles. They're expensive, but it makes for a quality room spray. The lingering factor is bomb. I love it. Even after sitting out here on my couch, working from home, it actually lingers out into the living room. Our half bath is around the corner from our living room, and I love that because when you have guests or if, you know, you're just trying to do spring cleaning and spruce up your house, you want to be able to smell the fragrances and things that you're using, and it just makes for a calming, clean home. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I just love my house to smell good, even with children. Once I clean, I want it to smell and look clean as long as possible. So I love this formula, but the first formula I use with the base is good as well. It just depends on your budget, I would say, and you know, because you're going to have to buy multiple ingredients with the second formula that I used versus with just using the base and the oil. So keep all of that in mind. Another thing that I noticed, even with using the other ingredients, it does not leave a sticky or greasy residue as well. So just wanted to point that out. I'm a stickler for that. Don't nobody want no residue and spots on their furniture or tables and things like that should the fine mist kind of fall where it does. And your floor, right? You know, that's a safety hazard. So I thought about all of that when figuring out what formula I wanted. So this is, again, I hope you can see that. It's a nice fine mist. I tested it on my hand just to see what kind of residue it left, and this did not leave any greasy or sticky residue either. Thing I want you to keep in mind when coming up with product releases, and for example, me coming out with room sprays, like what's important and what helps you stand out, again, is your overall business mission, your brand statement, your branding, your story behind your business. So I'm the type of person, I will research formulas or try, you know, creating my own formula and nailing things down to have a baseline. But what's going to help me stand apart is how I package and bring my new product or product line to life. That's what's going to draw in your customers. So if you're banging your head against the wall trying to figure out, you know, room spray formulas, or how can I stand out, or what can make my room spray stand apart, because every candle maker is making room sprays. Yeah, I know that too, but that's not going to stop me from releasing my line of room sprays. The fragrance oils that I chose are amazing, and what's going to help, or what's been helping me stand out already with Lady Simone, is my story. And that's what's going to keep my customers coming back and even partaking in new product releases that I come out with, including how I wrap it and package it through my marketing campaign and how I promote it on social media to get their attention. So just keep that in mind if you're feeling discouraged or wondering if this is a product you should even come out with or try, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing everything. You just got to find what makes you different and unique and do your thing. So there you have it. I would recommend trying both ways. You know, do your research, try both ways, and see what you like. See what gives you checks off your quality list, right? I knew I had certain things that I wanted for my room spray and certain quality factors. So I would say, you know, make a list of what you want in a quality room spray. Do your research, buy your tools and supplies, and just kind of test. I've been testing different, like several formulas, y'all, like a nice handful of formulas, and I narrowed it down to 2. And then that's when I brought it to the oils that I wanted to try. And then I tested both ways and saw what I liked. And yeah, that was my method. And so I recommend whatever you do, just test and see what works for you. And, you know, play around with formulas and see what works. And go from there. So I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to kind of shed some light if you were confused about processes and tools and, you know, room spray formulas and things like that. I hope I was able to help and shed some light on that. And please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, bye.